Hey everyone, Brenda Mullard from the Visual Art Academy and the Bring Your Own Brush Club. I wanted to come live today and I'm starting a new series on Thursday called 3 Things Thursday. So the 3 things are based on a tip, a trick, and something to inspire you. So my first trick is for when you are trying to do really small little dots, but consistent dots. You want to make sure that they're very consistent. What I like to do is I like to take either the end of a brush or a sharpened pencil. And I'm not sure if you can see those little dots right there. I made with a pencil tip. Dip in paint, dot it on your work. Dip in paint, dot it on your work. Great tip. Great tip. Doesn't ruin your pencil because all you do is just sharpen your pencil when you're done or just wipe it off, either way. But also, it's a great way to get your dots consistent. Now, the more paint you have on the end of your pencil or the end of your paintbrush handle or whatever you're using to do your dots so that they're consistent, the more paint you have, clearly the larger your dot's going to be. So if you want real tiny, precise dots, what I like to do is I like to dip it in my paint and then wipe it off and then do it again. Dip it in my paint, wipe it off, do it again. So there's your trick for Thursday. Your tip is when you are adding a clear gloss finish to a piece of artwork, whether it be acrylic painting or a mixed media piece or whatever, and I'm not getting paid to do this by any means, but this is something that I use and it works really well. I actually used it on this piece. It's a clear spray paint. It's called Krylon Triple Thick Crystal Clear Spray Paint. It comes on very thick. It's beautiful. I love it for when I want the gloss finish. I personally like the gloss finish on my work just because I like the way the colors pop with it. I like the way it shines, and I just like the finish that it gives. So I always use the triple thick Krylon spray gloss. It does not yellow. It dries pretty quickly depending on the temperature of your room or the temperature of outside. I like to do it outside in my garage just because I don't like to spray things in my house. But you get a beautiful seal, shiny gloss. It's smooth, it's beautiful. So that's my tip for today for you on Thursday. And then a little inspiration for you. Now, I have not sprayed this one yet. This is the current painting that we are going to be working on in the Bring Your Own Brush Club. This is called Dancing in the Rain. It's a mixed media piece. The painting is done in acrylic paint. Some of the papers in her skirt are painted papers that I did and that my members are going to be doing. But then some of them are also scrapbook papers that are just layered on top of each other. So the background is acrylic paint. We did use a little stencil kind of in the corners and just parts just to give it a little bit of a little more interest and a little bit of texture to it. But then also the girl here is a separate piece. So what happens is the members in the group, they got the template, the traceable template, they printed it off, and then they got to either choose if they wanted to use a heavier paper. They could print it off, trace it onto, say, like a mixed media paper or a watercolor paper, whatever, and then paint it on there first. Cut her out, glued her onto this background. This is actually mixed media paper that the background is on. Glued her on that mixed media background, and then after the mixed media background was, or after the background was already painted and stenciled, glued her on and then added the pieces with the skirt. So kind of a 3-step process, but really fun, really cute. We were talking in our group that this would make a really fun card that you could scan in and make multiple cards from it. So so there's your inspiration, a little Dancing in the Rain mixed media piece. So there's your 3 things Thursday. What were those 3 things? We used a pencil tip, or the end. I don't have my pencil here. We used a tip, the end of a paintbrush or the end of a pencil to do dots that were consistent and really, really easy to apply to a painting or a piece of work. I used the example of the dots on the cake here that's painted. The small little black dots were actually done with a pencil, okay, dipped in black. The tip was the Krylon Clear Gloss Triple Thick Spray Paint. Again, I'm not an affiliate, not getting paid for that. Just something that I really like to use. And then a little inspiration for you is the little Dancing in the Rain with a mixed media with scrapbook papers and acrylic paint. So I hope you are having an awesome Thursday. I know I am. And those are 3 little things for you. Please give me a comment if you have any tips or tricks that you use with the things that I mentioned earlier, how you use them. If I didn't mention how the way I use them, if you do it a little differently, please feel free to make a comment and let's share in the group tips and tricks. So have a great Thursday, everybody, and hope to see you very, very soon. Take care.